Cheeky Richo's roast turkey dinner with cranberry sauce and homemade stuffing. Hi and welcome to Cheeky Richo's roast turkey. We're going to make the stuffing for our turkey and serve it with all the trimmings. The ingredients are in the recipe box below, so let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is melt some of our butter over a medium heat and add our bacon, which has been just cubed. It's very lean, it's actually the shortcut bacon. Add our onions. Sweat these all off with our veggie salt, our cracked pepper, and our little craisins, which are sun-dried cranberries. They give us a delicious, sweet, pink flavour. Goes perfectly with our bacon. We've also got some pine nuts. Now I know they're expensive, but a little bit goes a long way. This is a 5.7 kilo turkey, so it's a pretty big bird, and we just want to sweat all this off because otherwise it's going to be quite raw sitting inside the bird. We've already made our breadcrumbs in the ThermoChef. Just break them up. I've put a couple of bigger pieces in there. It only takes seconds to do. I've already done a video on that. We brown this right off. Once it starts to brown a little bit, the last thing that we're going to add is our egg and our parsley. So brown this off a little bit, get our breadcrumbs in there and give them a little toss around too, and then we're going to stuff our bird. Now we're going to wrap our turkey wings in foil to protect them because they will need a lot less cooking time than the rest of the bird, and grease some foil and place it on the top because we're actually going to be cooking this in a hooded barbecue. This barbecue was made for us by a friend. His name is Robbie, so we call it the Robbie Roaster. We'll just sweat those off. Okay, that's nicely sweated off. It's not really brown. We're going to throw in our breadcrumbs, our fresh breadcrumbs, our mixed herbs, and our fresh parsley that's just been really roughly chopped. Stalks and all, there's plenty of flavour in those stalks. And that doesn't have to cook at all now. Just turn that off. And then it's in with our whole egg. Now, I'm not sure why I put an egg in here. My nana told me to do it, and I've just always done it that way. I think it holds it together a little bit, but it gives a nice sort of creamy sort of flavour as well. It's like an added richness. And that is ready to pop into our bird's belly. Our stuffing ready for the stuffing. Now before we're going to cover our bird with, we're just going to give it a light spray with some oil to prevent it from sticking, and it's going to protect the bird. We'll lift it off last thing so that it can get some nice brownness on it. And these ones are for the wing tips. Now, even though there is a quantity of fat in the wings, they will actually stick to the foil if you don't grease them a little first. I don't like to pack the bird too tightly, so we're just going to loosely pack that in there. Some people pull the skin back and tuck the seasoning in between the breast meat and the leg meat, but I happen to like it separately like this. We're also going to be using a basting syringe to send some flavoured butter into the breast meat to keep it nice and moist. I'm not going to stitch this bird up. It's going to have the stuffing just loosely sitting in there so that any basting that happens will leak into the stuffing and give it a nice crusty brown appearance, just on the outside. This gives a nice flavour too. Okay, now I have this basting syringe, which is bought from the kitchenware shop, and you just pop it on the end like so. Oh, you screw it on like so, and you pierce. See, it's got the holes on either side of it. You pierce the meat, whatever you want to baste with it, and squeeze the stuff in. So we're just going to melt some butter here and pop in our sage leaves to give it a nice flavour. Those sage leaves are then going to be tucked in around the bird, so just pop those in there for flavour. They're just fresh out of the garden. Poultry and sage are really good together, and sage oil or sage butter is outstanding. We don't want this to brown or burn at all. We just want it to melt. A little bit of veggie salt for flavour, and we'll pick those leaves out because obviously they're not going to go into our basting, but they will impart a lovely flavour to our butter, essentially a sage flavoured butter. You could skip this step if you like, but it really does make the bird. We're going to be cooking it in our Robbie Roaster, about 170 degrees Celsius. Okay, turn that off now, for between 3.5 and 4 hours. Okay, just pull those sage leaves out now. They've done their job. They won't be wasted what's left. The flavour that's still in them will continue to flavour the bird. Now we get our syringe, suck up that butter. Just make sure it's not too hot, that's going to melt your syringe. Anything left over will be basting the bird, so you don't have to get it all up. Okay, we just get our syringe and poke it into the deepest part of the bird, give it a little squeeze. and that will keep that breast meat lovely and moist. Okay, just any of the extra butter that's left over, we just baste the bird with that. Wrap our wing tips up, or wrap our whole wings actually, up in our greased foil to protect them. So they don't overcook. The same with the other one. Quite a snug pan actually, so our butter's starting to set on our cold bird, so just wrap our wing tips up. And now just pop our greased foil, greased side down, over the whole bird, and that will just protect it because it's a turbo action of the roaster. And then about a cupful of water, which will be long gone after 3.5 hours, and just tip that in there as well. It just keeps it nice and moist. And into the roaster we go. Okay, there it is sitting in the roaster, and we'll just close the lid. Now we've just prepared our vegetables for our turkey feast. We're just going to give them a light sprinkle with some olive oil, a light sprinkle with some veggie salt. And we're going to put our root vegetables on first, followed by our zucchinis and our leek. If you haven't ever had baked leek before, you don't know what you're missing. A bit of a shake around, and we're going to pop them into our Robbie roaster. Okay, we just put some of our carrots around our turkey because nothing else will fit around it. It takes up the whole tin. And our other vegetables are just in there waiting to be cooked. Okay, we're just going to remove our foil off our turkey now. As you can see, it's starting to brown nicely. The stuffing's browning and the vegetables that are around it are starting to cook nicely as well. Fork inserted. Shows clear juices running out of it. Just turn our vegetables over. Now we've just got our little pieces of sage here that we fried up earlier. Time to put those on now. The butter and the oil that comes out of that will be a really good flavour, will go right through our meat. Just a few decorations on top of that. Our leeks and zucchinis are in there now. Once that turkey's got a little bit more browning on the breast meat, it'll be time to remove it and finish off our vegetables and let it rest. Okay, after 3 3/4 hours, our turkey is beautifully cooked, golden brown all over. We're just going to cover it with foil and allow it to rest while we finish with our vegetables. We'll just carve our turkey now. There you have it, Cheeky Richo's roast turkey dinner with homemade stuffing and homemade cranberry sauce. I hope you enjoyed this little cooking demonstration. If you would like to see more interesting recipes and ideas, just check out our Cheeky Richo channel. And don't forget to please subscribe. Do come back and visit us again soon. We have so much more to show you and we're uploading lots of videos every week. And thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day.